If you want to win a war, you need a way to get to the enemy. In World War II, that meant invading Europe. D-Day, 1944.
To get there, it took battleships and planes, and to get around, when they arrived, tanks and vehicles. But rivers like the Rhine, which flows mostly through Germany, posed a real challenge. There were bridges, but the Germans destroyed many of them to slow down the Allies. They also set mines, laid traps and ambushes, and bombed troops. That's where soldiers like William Newton Ruddle played a vital role. He was a member of the 1153rd Engineer Combat Group. Their job, to keep the Allies moving forward by disabling mines and building bridges under combat conditions. Newton passed away in 1983, but a taped interview, letters home, and his daughter are keeping his story of service and sacrifice alive.
I am Newton Ruddle, and I served with the 1153rd Engineer Combat Group during World War II. We fought what was called the Battle of the Ardennes and the Battle of the Belgian Gorge.
You can tell when he's talking, he's going back there in his mind.
As they fought, they did not seek employment in civilian...
Events and places most of us have only seen stock footage of or movies about. Marie Hamilton's father was there.
The main thing he did in Europe was his group built bridges across the Rhine River. There were 47 bridges on the Rhine, and toward the end of the war, the Germans were blowing them up so that the Allies could not cross the river and get into Germany.
She knows this because she's done her research, a hobby of hers, but she also has her father's voice to remind her. An interview for a nephew's school project decades old.
What really stands out in your mind about where you were at, one of the tragedies?
His written words, too.
We found them when Mother passed away. She had them in a shoebox under her bed.
Letters from her father to her mother during the war. They'd been married just 3 weeks when he left for Europe in late 1944.
This is a letter he wrote to Mom, and he says, "It's a wonderful day here. In fact, it's too wonderful a day to be fighting a war."
He talked about many things in those letters, including the Malmedy Massacre, Belgium, December 1944. Newt was there to see the aftermath. 84 American prisoners of war gunned down by the Germans.
I also saw the dead that were laying in the snow, that were left behind. They shot down the medical soldiers, same as the combat soldiers. You have probably read it in the paper. In other words, it was just murder.
Newt's group had plenty of close calls.
We didn't know it, but just as we left, a shell hit, and this captain, the colonel, was killed. So we were lucky. The Lord, I guess, was with us.
What was your impression that happened over there while you were there?
Well, it was awful, you might say. I recall that when I entered the Battle of the Belgian Gorge, the temperature over there at that time was from 0 to 22 below. The snow was anywhere from shoe-mouth deep to knee-deep.
Marie has countless mementos from the war her father brought back.
He found that camera. He finally found some film for it.
The pictures he took there tell a story, too.
So he witnessed all of this.
Yes.
He took all these pictures.
When you go back and really look at what these people went through, you're glad that you had a family member that was a part of it.
And a vital part at that. From mine detection and removal to building fixed and floating bridges under combat conditions. It was an experience Marie says her father and the soldiers he served with were very proud of. One of service and sacrifice, cherished, protected, and preserved by a grateful daughter.
I took it one time to an Army reunion, only one I went to of his group, and I told them I had the tape, and I played it after we had dinner that night. And it was so quiet in that room you could have heard a pin drop. They were all moved by it.
It's moving what he did for this country.
And I think it brought back a lot of memories for them, too.
It was very difficult and trying times, but I lived through it, and thank the Lord. And I'm thankful for it.